Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and Restless official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Tracy tells Diane it's amazing. The house feels different, yet not different at all. She can feel her parents smiling down and Diane has made the house warmer and more welcoming. Diane admits he was stressed worrying what they all would think. Tracy gushes, "You made this happen." She admires her strength and determination and couldn't respect or admire her more. Diane asks how she's holding up after everything that happened. Tracy confesses, "It hasn't been easy." Diane Tracy YNR they sit to have tea, and Tracy apologizes for shutting her out when she was finding out about Martin. She is part of the family now. Diane has been so worried about her and offers to listen if she wants to talk. Tracy is still trying to process everything and recaps realizing she was in love with a monster. Now she's alone again. Diane is stunned to hear she still feels guilty. Tracy knew him and thought their love was real. More, Courtney Hope Mourn's best friend Diane says maybe Martin really was in love with her. Tracy muses that maybe she was just another experiment or a cover for whatever he was planning. They'll never know why he did what he did. Tracy is haunted by this. She honestly thought she was the most precious thing in his life. He was a tender, gentle man. Diane hedges, "You miss him." Tracy misses being loved. She's grateful they know the truth, but was any of it real? She has to live with the not knowing. Diane's so sorry. Tracy's mind keeps asking why she didn't see through his lies. Am I really so needy? Diane tells her no. There is nothing wrong with wanting to be loved. Diane Tracy YNR Tracy looks forward to coming to the house and not thinking about what she and Martin shared. That's part of why she likes the remodel. Diane says she fooled all of them and tells her not to doubt her strength or decency. She's too good of a person to deserve this. Tracy agrees. But she will bounce back, and the Martin Lawrence of the world will never get the best of me again. Pietro's over-the-top ideas in the jazz lounge. Claire meets with a party planner, Pietro, who's enamored with Nikki to plan her birthday bash. He enthuses about printing Nikki's photos on shawls for the guests to wear. Claire looks alarmed and tells him that's not exactly what she had in mind. He suggests a play about her life, but Claire nixes that as well. She was thinking of a more sophisticated approach. Pietro YNR inspired, the planner suggests they have Nikki dripping in diamonds or a Bollywood theme. Claire was picturing something more intimate, with no elephants, themes, or gimmicks. She wants something that embodies her grandmother's warmth and elegance. She brought a few ideas. They settle on ruby red with red roses as Kyle joins them. Pietro suddenly remembers Nikki loves piano and suggests a Mozart theme. Claire shuts him down. She wants him to use his creativity to make her vision a reality. He assures her the party will be classy and elegant. Kyle thinks the party will be the talk of the town. Pietro goes off to get started after complimenting Claire on her badass tenacity. Claire tells Kyle some of his ideas were too out there. Kyle assures that she handled it perfectly. "I love seeing you in action." Claire hopes this will show her grandmother how much she loves her. And Kyle has to show her grandfather that he's the right man for her. Kyle warns the jury is still out. Victoria and Nikki compare notes at Newman. Victoria admires the locket that her dad gave her mother. She notes that he loves to go big. She thinks Claire inherited that gene. Nikki looks worried and warns there may not be a party at all. If Victor has his way, she's not sure who will be left on the guest list. She updates Victoria on Michael quitting and the tense scene at breakfast. She wonders if Michael and Lauren will come to the party or if Victor will disinvite them. With the mood he's in, he'll probably be fuming at Kyle more than ever. Nikki thinks that Claire's about to learn that changing his mind is next to impossible. Nikki recalled the bad times when she'd been at her worst. Victor remembered how angry he'd been when he'd realized how dependent she'd become on alcohol, even though he'd known she'd been trying to medicate the pain she'd suffered in a riding accident. Victor ranted about all the booze he'd found, and he began to dump it out. He bet she had bottles hidden all over the house, and she sobbed that she was sorry. He admonished her for telling him she wanted to stop drinking, all while having vodka with her orange juice. Victor accused Nikki of being so locked into the lifestyle that she put the bottle ahead of her family, her children, and her friends. He smashed a bottle on the floor. Nikki recounted that even his anger hadn't stopped her from drinking, but it also hadn't stopped him from helping her. "I didn't walk out on you then, and I will not now," Victor promised, calling her the love of his life. He pledged to always protect her. Nikki reflected on how Victor hadn't given up on her, and he'd convinced her to go to rehab. Victor credited her with doing the hard work to get sober. At the rehab center, Victor presented Nikki with a birthday gift. She told him that just getting her there and visiting her were the best gifts he could have given her. He implored her to open the present, and she found a bracelet inside. Victor explained that the trinket contained Chinese symbols that represented courage and strength, and Nikki could just look at the bracelet if she ever needed those things. He added that their strength would continue to hold their family together. Nikki mused that it was what she needed to hear at that moment. Victor swore that she would get sober again, and they would work through it as a family. He referred to the many plans he had for their whole clan that year, and he held her close. The next day, Nikki wished Victor good morning with a hug. He was sorry they hadn't stayed up long enough to watch the sunrise. Nikki was glad she'd finally gotten some sleep after drifting off in his arms, and she reported that it had been the first time she hadn't had nightmares since the whole thing had started. Victor wondered why she was dressed for work, since he'd expected to spend the day at the ranch. Nikki looked forward to a fresh start at work, and she was going to start her day with an AA meeting. Victoria arrived to see how her mother was doing, and she was happy to see Nikki looking well. Nikki mentioned that she was on her way to a meeting, and she asked if she would see Victoria at the office. Victoria questioned whether Nikki was sure she was ready to go back. Nikki shared that Victor had reminded her that she'd faced worse and gotten through it, and she intended to do it again. Victoria called her parents an inspiration for the way they were there for one another. Victor thought they would all overcome the difficulties life had thrown at them. At the AA meeting, Nikki shared that she hadn't been sleeping because she'd been having nightmares. She recognized that she'd used her drinking to mask the painful feelings and anxiety, but drinking just made the thoughts worse, resulting in the need to drink more. She expressed gratitude to her husband for staying up with her the night before so she wouldn't have to be alone with those thoughts and feelings, but she also accepted that she was the only one who could keep herself sober. Nikki lamented that many people in the world thought it sounded simple to just not take a drink. But everyone at the meeting knew it wasn't that easy. She resolved to wrap her mind around what had happened and face her demons in order to get sober. Over coffee at the athletic club, Sally picked up a party hat left over from the night before.